And we're live for the Battle of Atlanta post show, and I have an awesome guest with me today, Haley Bulletproof Glass. How are you doing, Haley?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Great. I'm super excited to have you on the show today. The Battle of Atlanta was your adult debut at a major NASCA event, and you ended up absolutely killing it, taking home. Tell everyone how you did and what you took home this weekend.
I competed in extreme musical forms and weapons and traditional weapons, and I won first in each of those divisions. And then I did overalls for weapons and forms, and then I won both of those. And
Mhm.
then stage for the ultimate grand championship, and I also won that. So I swept.
You did. You had a killer weekend, and you performed as good as you normally do. So tell me, what was your experience like at the Battle of Atlanta and in the women's division?
So I was definitely like a little more nervous just because I ended up competing with people I've never like competed against. A lot of women that I've looked up to, I was able to finally compete against. So it was a little nerve wracking. I just wanted to do my best, and I did, and I think I did pretty darn well.
Mhm.
Um, Fun, and I'm glad that I can finally compete against those women.
So you've been to a lot of tournaments on the NASCA circuit, local ones. What were your thoughts about this year's Battle of Atlanta?
It felt so good. Like I've been to two local kind of tournaments recently. One where I competed at, and the other one I just did a small performance. And it was a little different still. You know, we had a lot of mask policies and like social distancing and whatnot. But now since things are getting a little bit better, battle was much more like a regular NASCAR tournament. Granted, there wasn't not many people had masks on, and there definitely wasn't social distancing. But it felt like normal, and it's nice because everything's been so wacky this last year and a half. So
Mhm.
just go and see everyone that I haven't seen in over a year, and just compete like normal. It was a really fun time, and I'm excited for this weekend or U.S. Open, so in like a week and a half.
It's coming up soon. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a lot of viewers on this live right now. Everyone's on their lunch break during this work week. So make sure if you're watching, you drop where you're watching from. If you've seen Haley compete before, ask some questions for her, and I'll make sure that she hears them. But let us know where you're watching from. So Haley, you're going to the U.S. Open, another big tournament. There's going to be possibly more competition there as well as people start becoming more comfortable. How did you prepare for the Battle of Atlanta, and how do you plan on changing your game or just doing the same thing because it was pretty successful this weekend?
Well, over like the course of our long break, I've kind of adjusted my training style. I've incorporated a lot of like weight training and plyometrics and hit style training along with like my regular, sections and just running my forms.
Mhm.
Just kind of get both sides, which I think are super important, and that really made a big difference for battle. So I'm going to continue to do so for U.S. Open. I have some, small things I need to fix up that I noticed for myself after
Mhm.
watching from this past weekend. But keeping things relatively the same, just training a little bit harder even for this one, and just doing a little bit of everything.
So I do see sometimes your mom posts pictures of you and her at the gym, which is really great to see. Both of you working out, both of you staying fit, even in a pandemic. Do you guys sort of drive to the gym together and work out separately? What's that like?
So we started going before I had a car, so like we'd go together, and like we would most of the time actually we do the same workout. So we were like our workout buddies, and
Oh, nice.
actually we went at like 6 in the morning. It was very early, and we did like a circuit together. So it's really fun being able to do that because we're both like motivating each other and keeping each other accountable. Like those mornings where I don't want to get up, my
Mhm.
mom, get up, Haley, we got to go, and then vice versa. When she don't want to get up, I'm always like, let's go, we got to go to the gym. So it's nice. And then sometimes I train like my forms and stuff, which she obviously doesn't do. So it's separate then, but it's really nice having her train with me.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine when I was training and my mom or my dad would be giving their input, it would always be them off of the mat and them seeing what I had to fix, which was another perspective that's invaluable. But I feel like it's only natural sometimes, whether it's your parents or your karate instructor, in the back of your mind, you're just like, come out here and do it with me, you know? But your mom is literally training with you.
Exactly. It's nice. And now I can't say those things like, oh well, you can't even do it because she's so.
That's great to hear. So was your mom at this tournament with you because she's one of your biggest supporters, or now that you're in the adult division, you're going by yourself?
Well, I think my mom missed competitions as much as I did. Just like on her side of things, seeing all the parents and watching me compete. So she was really excited for this one. At first, she wasn't gonna go. I was gonna go by myself. But then she's like, well, flights are cheap. I just want to go with you because I miss it too.
Hmm.
So family went. My mom went. My stepdad Hakeem went, and my little sister. So she got to go to her first big tournament and her first plane ride. So it was quite the experience. But everyone came to this one.
So you're actually babysitting your little sister, and she's the cutest thing ever. But you have a lot, going on your plate. You have a new baby sister, training, and also incorporating new things into your training workout. But you just graduated high school and are going off to college. Can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about balancing and also excelling in all the different things you do?
So it's been really hard. As my little sister has gotten older, it's been more difficult because she's smarter and she's able to get into things, and it's getting to do other things while watching her because she like tries to get into everything she knows she can't. So like now she walks, so she's walking everywhere trying to climb up the stairs. So I'm like always on her, and with that being said, I watch her maybe, sometimes 6 7 hours a day,
Mhm.
um, quite a lot of time, and trying to juggle that with training, working out in the morning with my mom, and schoolwork. Like I'm actually starting my first official term of college
Mhm.
next week, but I'm doing it online. So like trying to balance all of that is pretty hard. It's definitely taught me a lot about time management, but more often than not, I'm like so exhausted. I don't get much sleep, but
Mhm.
it's helping me out in more ways than one. I'm building a great bond with my sister, which is something that if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't have been able to do. So I'm like happy about that, even though it's so stressful. Like I'm glad that we're so close. And then like with school and being online, I've always done really good with that. So
Mhm.
luckily, it wasn't too big of a shift. I did my whole associate's degree online, so like I was already used to it. So
Right.
and then training, I train like about 2 times a day, once at the karate school and once at the gym. So like it's a lot, and I get tired a lot, but that's where naps come into play. But
Mhm.
I've gotten really good at my routine. So right now, like everything is going to plan.
That's great, and it's a little bit of trial and error. It's like, oh, I thought this would take this much time, but it actually took a bit longer. That's how I used to be. I would shortchange how much things would take, especially in high school, because I too was doing karate and a lot of other sports and academics. And I would say it's going to take me 30 minutes to do this assignment, and it takes me an hour, right? You have to be realistic about your time, especially for someone so busy and involved with you. With that said, so you are on the road to be Dr. Haley Glass, which is amazing, and kudos to you. We need more doctors, especially just seeing how weak a healthcare system can be in a pandemic. Um, so, how do you foresee the time and commitment of being pre-med playing into your passion for martial arts?
So I definitely think it's going to be really difficult. I've thought about it, and I'm not like worried, but I know it's going to be like a big adjustment once I actually get over there and start.
Mhm.
I know that being away from home, like I'll be completely in charge of my time.
Mhm.
So I know that like I'll make sure everything, I devote a good amount of time to each thing that I'm doing. I scheduled my classes like really early so that I have like the full day to kind of study and then also work on, training and all of that. So I don't really know exactly how I'm gonna do it, but
Mhm.
and I feel like I've told myself that I don't really have an option. Like I'm gonna figure it out one way or the other. So hopefully everything will be okay. But I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. And as long as you tell yourself that it's gonna get done, it gets done. Somehow you just find the time in the 24 hours and you just make sacrifices to do the things that you want to do. And I've always been really impressed by you, Haley, how you can be so amazing in so many different things and never let things that are important to you be sacrificed. So
I try.
so speaking and moving on, we are going to talk a little bit more about you now as a martial artist. Can you tell everybody about your background in karate?
Yeah. So I've been doing. I'm 18 now, so that's what 13 years. I've been doing martial arts for about 13 years. I'm a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. Um, I started off in Shotokan, but I switched to Taekwondo pretty soon after. And I've been doing NASCA since 2013. So I think this is my ninth year, which is crazy. Like I feel like it just started yesterday. It's gone by, but yeah, it's been quite a ride.
Something that I don't think a lot of people might know about you, because you're always on stage or in the ring doing forms and weapons and traditional, is that you used to fight and you used to be good at it. What made you decide to sort of drop fighting and focus on other things?
Um, sim- Considering, you know, I'm not okay. When I was smaller and I was able to fight, I did have a lot less on my plate. I had more time to train a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
Devote some time to other divisions. I used to do 9 divisions and now it's dropped down to 5, just because as I've gotten older, I have new responsibilities and I just didn't see the point in competing in something I knew I didn't give my like 100% efforts to, like
Mhm.
training. I just didn't see the point in that. I know these women are training, fighting like 24/7. Like that's all they do, which is awesome. And I love sparring. Like I spar still at the karate school, and like I'd open fight trainings when we had them. Not anymore because of COVID, but doing that was good. I just didn't want to compete when I didn't train as much as I should have, just because I have everything going on. So
Mhm. So you've always been a very powerful competitor, like literal. When I say powerful, I mean like literal power. And that's one of your strengths as someone who, when we were younger and we were in the same sort of age bracket, I used to always think to myself, Haley's really strong and powerful. I too need to keep up my power. It can't just be, like tiny little chop punches that don't do anything. Does that come naturally to you? You're built like a tank, or did it have to, come through weight training, or how did you develop that type of style?
well, luckily for me, just like the way I'm built, it's always been pretty easy for me. Um, and recently, like I've noticed, it's actually kind of been like an issue because I'm already strong and I'm already built very strong, and now I'm doing weight training, so like that's helping me get even stronger. So like I have all this strength, but now when I'm trying to then be stronger in my forms in addition to like my natural strength, it's making like my muscles really tired, and I get
Mm,
like I have to teach myself not to worry so much about the strength aspect because it comes so naturally, and kind of not flex so hard when I do my forms so that I can get faster and I can, still have energy by the end of it. So it's like I've had to learn how to like not think about it, if
mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
More recently, because I'm doing that weight training, things are changing, so I have to adjust. But the strength has always been an easy thing for me. So
That's really interesting, because bodies change over time, especially when you start so young. You grow, and then, trickers run into the problem where their body proportions change, and it's very difficult. Or, like you said, you get stronger, and then you kind of have to think about the other aspects of your game that you need to address, which is interesting coming from a competitor. Um, and so you now are going to the US Open. Do you have any plans for after that?
I heard that U.S. Capital Classics and Compete Nationals was canceled,
Mhm.
so that kind of sucks. I'm hoping to hit Diamonds and Pan Ams, granted that they still happen. I mean, it might be. I hope to hit both. Now that I'm going into college, I know that I'm not too sure exactly what's going to happen because, unfortunately, I do have classes on Fridays and Friday, so we'll see. But I plan to go to both of them.
Nice. Okay. And so you're going to college in Florida, is that correct?
Yes.
So you have had the, I want to say, privilege to be surrounded by so many great martial artists in Florida. Do you train, what school do you train at? Is it the Candanzado school?
I still train at Florida Sports Martial Arts with
Okay.
Zato.
Okay, great. Puts out amazing martial artists. Is that is that anywhere? I don't know the geography of Florida, unfortunately, but are you close to any karate schools, perchance?
None that I like heard of or that
Okay.
I know of. So I know like there's going to be a few out there. I have to check them out. I kind of looked online, and unfortunately, none of them are like sport karate,
Mhm,
which because that's what I do.
mhm.
But I will have like a few friends from Orlando who do martial arts who are at UF, so I could possibly train with them at some point.
Okay. So my last question for you, after having so many highlights from this weekend, but I want to let you tell the audience what was your favorite moment from the Battle of Atlanta, because I'm sure there were many, and it doesn't even have to be karate related. It could be seeing your friends, but what was that, that your takeaway from this event?
Um, What and it sounds weird to say, but one of my favorite like feelings is like right before I'm about to compete,
Mhm,
where like you're like really nervous, and I'm sure you can relate, where like your
mhm,
heart's super fast and you have
mhm.
your adrenaline rushing, and you're trying to think of everything in your form, and like I don't want to drop and I don't want to stumble in this move. I got to make sure I hit this. So like that feeling I hadn't had in such a long time. And so especially like right before I was about to go on stage, just like, like with the lights shining in my face and like hearing, seeing just a big stage and then everyone in the audience, it's been such a long time. So like getting to go on stage and like, hear people like my mom like screaming, "Go Haley," or just being in that environment, I think was my favorite part.
Yeah, and it's such a special feeling. It's nervous. It's,
Mm.
imagining your whole form in your head and like, all right, gotta hit 1, 2, and 3. But then you get out there, and I'm not sure how it is for you, but for me, like it's just me and the form. I just blank out. Someone could be telling me one thing. I don't. It's just me and the form.
Yeah, that happens once I actually get started. I'm like, okay, like the nervousness goes away, and I just focus on myself, and it's like I can hear myself in my head. Like I'm like, okay, you're almost done. One more.
Yeah.
Like I can relate because
Yeah, literally, I would finish from the corner and I would say, okay, last section, Bella. I would literally be like almost there because, you're right. It's when you're trying to do so much power and speed, 2 minutes can feel like a long time, especially with the adrenaline on stage. So I totally understand. But yeah, so Haley, again, congratulations on your debut as an adult and an amazing performance at the Battle of Atlanta. I'm super excited to be able to. I know we text sometimes, especially through the college process,
yeah,
and just seeing you, graduate and you're on your path to become a doctor. It's just amazing to see. So thank you
thank
so much for coming on the Power Chat series.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Okay.